Hi everyone, welcome to another session. In this session, we will discuss regarding HIPAA. HIPAA is Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Before discussing all these uh, principles or all these key components of HIPAA, so let me tell you a few important things about HIPAA. HIPAA is a US specific law. HIPAA is only applicable in the United States. It is federal law created by the US government to protect the health data of individuals in the United States. So what does it mean? If healthcare provider, for instance, insurance company or third party vendor is handling US patient data, they must comply with HIPAA regardless of where that company is physically located. As we have discussed in our previous session regarding GDPR, so GDPR is applicable for the EU resident. When EU resident data is handled, then GDPR law comes in a picture, regardless where the company is located. Either it is in APJ region or in the USA region. So when they handle EU resident data, they must be compliant with GDPR. It is mandatory. Similarly, HIPAA is also must comply with HIPAA if healthcare provider, insurance company, or third party vendor is handling US patient data. For example, if a cloud service provider in India or Europe stores or processes US patient data, they are still required to follow HIPAA rules as a business associate, right? So other regions have their own laws, as we have just discussed, and also in our previous video we have discussed it in detail, that Europe protected under GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, applies to all personal data, including health data. So even if uh, AU resident health data is handled, then it comes also under GDPR. It covers health data as well. Similarly, Canada has uh, PIPEDA. PIPEDA. So let me write it down here. Canada has PIPEDA. So, and they have also, I think, provincial health privacy laws. And similarly, Australia covered under Privacy Act 1988. India currently no specific health privacy law, but DPD, Digital Personal Data Protection, is evolving. Um, in summary, HIPAA is US centric and applies to US patient data only, but any organization handling US patient data, even outside the US region, must comply. Other regions uses Other regions use different regulation like GDPR in Europe. So now let's discuss core principle, the key components of a HIPAA. So as you can see in this diagram, so number one is core principle and boundaries. What does it mean? So these are the basic rules and values behind HIPAA. It includes respecting patient privacy, using data only when necessary, and ensuring ethical handling of health information, and that is core principle and boundaries. Second is use and disclosure limitations. So that means health data known as I protected health information and should only used or shared for treatment, payment, or healthcare operation with patient's consent. Consent is very important. Or when required by law. So if there is law requirement that that data needs to be kept, needs to be held due to some law, uh, due to law limitation. In that case, it can be kept. No authorized access or sharing of patient data is allowed, right? So if one company is handling that data, right, with the patient consent, they are not supposed to share with any unauthorized person or any other company, so without patient's consent. Administrative safeguards, third would be the key component. So these are policies and procedures that company must follow to protect health data, includes training, employees training, assigning a privacy security officer, conducting risk assessment, managing security incident. So awareness, employees awareness is very important. Uh, that company, that healthcare company, those who are handling patient data, so the employees of that company, the employees of company, those employees, we need to provide them a regular training about privacy, about all those key components, right? Uh, and also need to assign privacy security officers. We need to also conduct risk assessment on regular basis, right? And then fourth component, physical safeguards. So that is also another important component, that these are physical protections for devices and systems that store patient data. Example, locking doors, using badge access, right? Legitimate people could have access, or authorized people or employees should have access to that room or to that place where the system devices reside and patient data is stored. Keeping server rooms secure, right? Ensuring equipment is protected from theft on or environmental damage. Okay. So last key component is technical safeguard. Technical safeguard is the IT protection to secure electronic health information. So nowadays we all know that we keep data on servers, on computers. So uh, this we are going towards uh, paperless, right? So we are not storing data in files. So data is most of time kept on the servers. So that old way uh, keeping data is now, with the passage of time, is very less. So therefore we also uh, need to place technical safeguarding, right, to secure electronic health information, right? So this framework ensures health data is secure and private, whether on paper, right? Obviously, if data is on paper or on computer or being shared electronically, so we need to make sure that data is confidential. It should not have access to unauthorized unauthorized personals, unauthorized people. So that is very important to know. So let me again conclude our discussion regarding this. As we discussed, HIPAA is US centric, applies to US patient data, regardless where that data is handled. If that data belongs to US patient, the companies are bound to comply HIPAA rules. Similarly, GDP GDPR for the Europe, and under GDPR, European patient health data uh, can be kept, or those companies should must comply to GDPR rules. That's it about HIPAA. And as I said in previous video, we have discussed GDPR in very detail. So I am trying to cover all these important topics in separately and in separate video. So you might see some questions related to HIPAA or GDPR in CISSP exam. Kindly share your feedback in the comment section, or any any uh, questions related to this topic. So please share in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video.